G'day, I'm Neil and my handle is Wiley11. I'm just going to put my disclaimer here. Whatever I do and say on these videos is well-intentioned and well-meaning advice. I accept no liabilities whatsoever for any disclosures. If you take some advice or act on something that I'm saying on these videos, you do so entirely at your own risk. I'm doing it based on my experience. These videos are my attempt to give back to YouTube for the help and assistance that YouTube has given me. So once again, you follow along or follow advice from these videos entirely at your own risk. Okay, and if you're not happy to do that, click this off and off you go. Because this is purely my attempt to give back to YouTube, as I said, for the help and advice that I have received out of YouTube. So this is just my little attempt to give back. If you're happy to follow along at your own risk, buckle up, sit in. Let's get into it. Right, so what's going on, as you can see, my screw's a little bit too long. But thankfully I've got a bunch of these washers left over. So I'm just going to pack it out with washers and get it to work. So that'll definitely put it in range of the bizzo. I'm just going to shift that down so make sure you can see what I'm doing. So here it is. You can see it's too long. And I'm just going to pack that out with washers. There's a whole bunch of them there, so I'll just use them. I'll put two behind and as many as I need in front. How many do you think? Here we go. So I think I'll use three in front. Two. Three in front. And I'll put two behind it. One, two. Let's just line that up against that. It's going to go close. That's going to go real close. I'm going to call that done. So by the time I put a couple of turns on this with my screwdriver, which I've got to come over and get. There's our screwdriver. Just going to line this up a bit. There we go. Put our top one in. We'll do the same thing. We'll pack it with three in front and two behind. Pack it out. Put our bolt through. And that'll be our switch. And then all we've got to do is bolt that on and wire it up. And that's our Z-axis problem. That isn't going anywhere. That's not gonna bend. It's not gonna shimmy or move or do anything. And we can set our height and work out where we are. We can do all of that. Set our height exactly where we want it. Put it there. Put it in proud with the guide holes. Push them through, and we're done. We're finished. All I've got to do is wire it up. Righto. So we want, we said three in front, two behind. Oh, there's too many. Right, so we've got one, two, three in front. Through the hole. Two behind. There they are. One, two. Put it back around. Oh, this is where it gets interesting, see? The two behind are the problem. The two behind are a bit of a problem. Because now I've got to wedge them up between the acrylic and Yeah. Without that falling out, see. So what I'm going to do is push them on again, hold the whole bloody lot upside down and swing that, he said with confidence, into position. They do not want to play, do they? Righto, back this one off. It'll make it a bit easier. In a moment I'm going to use two different washers because it might just be these two washers are plain silly buggers. Actually, I'm going to use a different one there. No, another different one. I'm going to get two that want to play. Righto, so that goes there like that. Come on you go. There like that. Those two will go on there like that. Come on you go. And we're going to just swing that around and nothing's going to move and we're going to bring it on home. Come on. Ah, so close. What's going on there is that is not lining up with the hole that I've drilled. Grrr. Righto, so we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. If it don't fit, force it. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. It's like a millimetre out. How can it be out? I mean, I did not drill that wrong. I drilled that exact. I marked it exact. So how can it be out? Answer, you drilled it wrong. I marked it with the, I put a pick through the hole and marked it exactly. Put a pick through it. I don't understand how that can be so far out when I marked that out with a pick. It's nearly 2 millimetres out. I've got no option but to re-drill that hole. I can use a bigger hole, I suppose, because I'm going through to a nut. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's out by nearly 2 millimetres. There's quite a lot of slop in this thing. The back hole's spot on. I'll tell you what's happened there is I haven't got the drill straight. It's gone through at an angle. Righto, so let's do this old-fashioned, hard, whatever way. There we go, we got it. It's on. It's on the hole there. It's not got the right angle though. Might be easier to get that other one. Let's do this one first and see if we can get the other one, because the other one wanted to play nice. It was real nice. Just went straight through. Of course, it also went straight out. Where's this one going to be if I do it in the opposite direction? Look, that one's spot on, even if I do it in the opposite direction. So if I get this one going first and then get this one, that will actually wind through. Right, so all I've got to do is get the two on the back one without dropping everything. I'm going to fiddle with this. It's going to be like watching grass grow, but I'm going to fiddle with this. I'm going to get it to force through, and I'm going to wind it in with the screwdriver. Right, so here we are, we're over the hole. I'm going to force it with the screwdriver. Right on it there. Right there. Running out of white. Yeah, I love it when things go quick. Right, we got it started. Let's go. Don't breathe, anyone. Don't anyone breathe. Don't anyone breathe, because we're home and hosed. We're in. Here we are, one switch. Home and hosed, beauty nuke. Now that'll go in there, he said with confidence. And those two holes will get us home. And we've got to push the wires on. So now we've got to strip some wires and connect our terminals back up. Right. We're going to get all this done today. We're going to get it finished, and then we're going to have another crack at it. I'll bring you back when we're hooked up. Oh, do you want to watch me strip some wires? Do you want to see it? I don't care. I'm at the point now where I can at least achieve a result if I can get some connections on that. Get everything plugged back in and hooked up, and get back to trying to do a test print. That's the plan. Plan A. Plan B will be throw everything out and start again. I won't be doing that. We're sticking with plan A. I'm just going to chuck all these back in their thingo, whizzo bizzo. I don't know how tall this needs to be. I guess I should wind this all the way up so that I can adjust it to height. What I'm going to do then is wind that stepper motor down on the Z axis, and then just fiddle with this adjusting thing, because that is so close to being finished, it's not funny. I think it'll go close actually. I think if I just wind it all the way proud, I think that'll be pretty close to where it needs to be. It won't go any further, that's for sure. It won't go down any further than that. So it can't slip down if I just give it enough force to hold it proud. That's all it needs. Alright. Now that's a way better design, Mr. Tronxy, than your design. Okay, this thing in the bottom makes all the difference. And the switch, Mr. Tronxy kit, that switch is yours, hanging its head in shame. It's like it's peeping into the wrong restrooms. Should be ashamed of itself. Rightio, here we go. Put all that back together. Got everything sorted out here. We want to put all this back in the thing. That is completely cold to touch. I'm going to put it back in the bag. I might have a use for it yet. Got some more stuff to see once I start playing around with switches. I've got a still mounted project box, so I'll need some screws for that. There's all sorts of little bits and pieces that aren't finished on the printer, and some of those are going to require some screws, and I know I'm going to run low on some of those screws. Right, so this is all cold to touch now. I'm going to wipe those down. In fact, I can do that. That's just a bit of crud. There you go, they're cleaned. I'll get them a bit of oil them up again, so everything's cleaned and oiled and doing the way things should. That's ready to go over for a bath in the oil. This is just going to go in here for now. I've got tools everywhere at the moment. So all that stuff's been put away. I'm going to fold it over, take all the air out of it, ziplock it so it can't fall out of there, and put it away in the box. So the box of bits and pieces is here. These are all the leftovers from the build. Everything I've got left over from the build's in there. Push all that into it, and there we go. Now, the power supply switch is a pain in the neck because I went to the 240 volt retail accessory shop. It's called Ideal Electrical, and they've shut a branch down that had the piece that I wanted. So I went to another branch, and they didn't have the piece they wanted, and they thought that the other shop on the other side of town might have it. I can't understand how a common switch, 240 volt switch, the commonest thing ever, those little rocker switches, you know, like they're one of the most used switches around, and they don't carry it as a standard item, and they're a 240 volt supplier. It's annoying, it really is. Righto, let's stop whinging, let's start moving. We gotta get this bit of wire here now, and we've got to put these wires onto this. So I'm going to nip them off. I'm not going to solder these. Contrary to popular belief, sometimes you're better off not soldering something. What I'll be doing with those is I'll just be stripping them back and putting them straight in and crimping them. So that's how we're going to do these, one at a time. Now it doesn't matter which way you do them because that's just creating a connection, so that seriously does not matter. I'll go grab the strippers and the cutters. Here they are. Just going to cut these. I'll leave a bit of wire on these ones because I can use those for something. See how much extra wire I've got? A whole bunch of it there. So I can probably nip that off. Got my cutters over there. Just going to nip that cable tie off, and I might leave a bit of wire on those because this doesn't need to be this long. I might sort of nip them somewhere in the middle, like about there somewhere. How much have we got there? That's heaps, it's more than you need. I'm just going to nip them off right there. Done. Now those two bits of wire, they're useful, they can be used for something else. I'll put them in the box of spare parts over here. I've got a box where I keep all bits and pieces that, you know, odds and ends. Now, we want to strip these. Crimp them into the tabs, mount them. Oh, look at that, I missed one. Put it in the box later. I've got it over there. I hate not touching it once, but I've just got my mind on this at the moment. Right, so that's that one. Ready to go and crimp. Here's a good set of crimpers. I paid $12 for these on eBay. They do a good job. See? They pull off exactly what you need, exactly where you measure it. And you've got a little gauge there that you push your wire up to, and when you crimp, it exactly gets the same length as the other one. It's good. I like little ideas like that. They work for me. Righto, so one at a time, here we go. We'll do this one first. Put him on. Now I'm not soldering, I'm not doing any of that rubbish. I'm just going to push that into the thing like that. Don't need to do anything more than that, and crimp it off right there. Except that you do need to do more, because this one is a small wire. Might need to solder it before I crimp. That didn't do anything. It didn't even crimp. It did not crimp. I didn't crimp it. Let's try that again. I'll check this for continuity when I'm done. Now that's me not being strong enough. Now that's crimped, I can tell you. Yeah, that's on there. I'll check these for continuity, make sure that they've got continuity. Now that one can go back on. I'll set this one off. Same thing, just give it a bit of a twist, push it through and crimp it. Righto, push him through there somewhere. Audio. There he is, crimped off. Right, there we go, we're all crimped up. I'll do a continuity test on that. Make sure our switch works. Setting it to continuity. Right. Plug in the 2 leads. Push the switch. Right, we got a result. Let's go through and plug it in, mount it, and get back to testing. Right, we're back to testing. Right, so one of the other things I've decided to do is change out this broken Y-axis switch for the one that's not broken. So I've got the one that I just took off the Z-axis. I'm just going to change that right quick. And this switch was broken. I broke it by clamping it into a set of vice grips. So don't clamp these switches into a set of vice grips. Whatever you do, don't use more force than is necessary on anything. Right, I'm just going to leave that in there. Just going to undo this switch. Going to use all the same gear. See how that switch is busted? I busted that switch, and I'm just going to change it out for this other switch. I couldn't get any washers small enough to fit on these little, they're 1mm, and I couldn't get anything at the specialist nut and bolt place to fit on it. So they're just going straight through without anything on them, which I don't like. I never like putting things through without washers. Still, it is what it is. So that's the busted switch, that's getting recycled. And this one, it'll go straight on, goes this way, like that. Because hang on, I changed it round, didn't I? I managed to turn it round, didn't I? I knew that would happen. Goes like that. Oh, I'm all a muddle. I'm all a muddle. Look out, everybody. I'm all a muddle. The screw is on that side. The switch has to go this way. I have managed to confuse the living crap out of myself. Anyway, life's like that. I'm not going to worry about it, I'm just going to move on. So let's put one of them on. This was a quick job until I confused myself. Should have kept the other switch in its same orientation as I pulled it off. Now we're running out of daylight fast, so I wanted to try to get a test print in with this new switch all wired in. I'm talking about the Z-axis, not this one. I know this switch will work. I know it worked on the other one. It's still a bit loose. I'm just going to try to give that a little bit more oomph. Don't want them over tight because they're pretty fragile. I'm using my fingernail to hold the nut. That's how fragile this is. Now that's ready to rock and roll. We're going to put that back together there. The nut has to go back in there. There it is, it's back. What we're going to do is we're going to put that back in that way. We're going to get our bits and our pieces ready to rock and roll. And if this is going to play nice, which I think it might, this might just go together. You know what? Those wires need to go on before I put that in. Now the question is, which two wires? The answer is I don't know. I need to find out where the continuity is. So I'm going to check this switch for where the continuity is for closed. Just going to push that to the outside. Actually, I should be able to look at this one. It's the two closest to the hinge. It's a good guess. I'll double check. That's what I thought it was. So that should be normally closed there, shouldn't it? Oh, put it to continuity, you idiot. Righto, and to check normally open, should be that one and that one. It should make a noise for normally open if I go to that one. And if I close it, it reverses the switch. Okay, so we're in business. So this is continuous. So it's those two there that we need. So we're going to push that through. Darn it. Darn it. I need this down for a bit so that I can pull this through so that I can push those on. So this was a 5-second job which really went off the rails, didn't it? Now I'm just going to push that on there. I'm halfway home. I'm home. Come on. I'm home. Come on. I'm home. And I'm going to push that back. Where's the nut? There it is. Push that nut in. The nut has to go in there. Come on, baby. You're nearly there. You are nearly home and hosed. Right. Nearly where you belong. So close. Now that'll have to go there and that'll have to go in. Come on, baby. Get everything lined up. Get everything going. We're going. We're in. We're in. We're in. We're in. We're not in. We fell out. We're in. Okay. Just going to reposition a little bit there. We're out of light. Running out of light. Sorry about that, folks. So what we're going to do is we'll put that back where it belongs. Everything's back where it belongs. And we're done checking the operation of this Z-axis. Make sure that's going to... It's not contacting. Righto. Don't like where that throw is happening. I really don't. I don't like this whole switch setup. I can hear it hitting, but I can also hear it hitting this. Nothing I can do about it. Right, come around this side, we'll have a crack at mounting this Z. Have a crack at mounting this Z. We're out of battery noise, we're out of light, we're out of battery, we're out of everything. Right, so we know the switch is working. We tested all that. We're going to push this through that hole. There it is, she's through. I'm going to bring it through this way real quick and down. There's a couple of wires that have managed to come unplugged at the back here. And I'm going to have to find them and fix them. Right, so that goes in this way. like that. So I'm happy with that. That's all going to work. Everything's good. And we've got two of these bolts. Now, one of them's over here that I used before. Here's one, and the other one I lost. So I'm going to make up a new one. And I'll run out of battery real soon. So there's one of our bolts. Now we need another one of those. So we're going to make one up. This gets put in the plastic recycle. My little plastic tips. I actually use those from time to time, those plastic tips. They come in useful. Create little plug-ins for things. Perfect for it. Once I'm back to operational, I will be happy. It's too short. Wonderfully, it has one of them and one of them. Now let's get the size I need. That one there. Is that it? No. Where's the one I need? Jeez, I've got all these, they're all over the place, these things. They're the shorter ones. I want the longer ones. They're in here. Just got to find them. There they are. They're the ones I want. I'll make one of these up. These bags are split. Some of these are going to get recycled. Or chucked, one or the other. Alright, so we've got two of those. Here we go. One of them, one of them, one of them. Alright, we've got what we need. We can put all the rest of this stuff away. Now, what we want to make sure of is that we're not pinching these wires. Right, we want to make sure we've got plenty of wire. So I'm going to turn you around this way a bit more and see what you're looking at. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You can see where I'm working over there. I'm going to go put myself over this side. Grab the tools I need and get this done. Now it looks as though we're not going to get time to run it, but we will get a chance at that tomorrow. So we'll have a crack at it tomorrow. I've got tools everywhere over here, so I need to do a clean up after we finish this job. Right, here we go. We're going for it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the nuts on the back like we did last time. And bring his over this way a bit now. He's in a bit closer to the action. The lighting's not the best, I can't really do much about it, I don't know. Let's see if I can do something about it. It's no better. Anyway, it is what it is. So what we're doing is we're mounting the switch in here. Now what we've got to do, I've got to come around the front actually. You guys are all in the road at the moment. I'm going to put the X-axis thingo in the middle there, with the bubble in the centre. We're going to wind it down until we're touching, keeping the bubble in the middle. Right, we're touching. There we are, we're on it. Now I can just see there's a bit of a dag hanging off the bottom of this, which shouldn't be there. There, it's gone. So that's probably perfect. That dag will actually put us in a good spot. Down we go. I want to keep that bubble in the middle. We're touching right there. Okay, let's get it level. There it is. Check this for level. Yep, looking good. I'm just checking for level. Right, so I've got my leveler there. You can see that the bubble on this one's actually in the middle. Bubble on that one's in the middle. Bubble on that one's still in the middle. Everything's looking good. Right, so that's our Z. That's where we want to be. Going to swap around the other side here. Still got one screw here. I don't know what I did with the other one. I'm going well. Trying to rush this a bit. Now this one, you've got to come through from here. This wire, they're going to bend around a bit, but see all that, that's got to come up now until that hits like that. There. Now that's where I want that screw to be. So I'm going to wind that out. Until when I come through here, just go a bit more. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm using it like a feeler gauge. You can hear that clicking? So that's going to activate. Now that's a much better arrangement. So I can just sit that on that screw now and lock it off. Right, so now we've got to lock it off. Now it's going to get fun. This is where the fun started last time too, because I couldn't get this to happen very easily. Particularly in poor light. It's not a good time to be doing anything. Now I've no idea what I did with that other nut that I set up, but I'll find it. I'll put it down somewhere, I guarantee you. Go back and check the footage and find it. It'll be sitting somewhere right under my nose and I can't even see it. Alright, so I'm going through the far one, because the far one's the worst, you know, the first one's the worst one. Alright, so we're through the guide, and now we've got to just fiddle until we can get through the actual hole at the back. I like it when it goes quick, but I don't know where the holes are. There they are there. That's up a long way actually. Come on. What have I done here? Oh, I see what's going on. What's happened is I've rough cut these things. I thought I'd push the drill bit right through, but what's happened is that there's a bit of a narrow spot there, so it can probably be reamed out a bit with a file or something. What I'll do is I'll push it up to the top for now. This is really annoying. Right, so one more time with feeling. I can't see a bloody thing. I'm getting a torch. Hang on. I can't see anything in there. These were one of the best lights ever invented, these bat lights. Give you lots and lots of illumination. LED light, bat light. I use it all the time, and we use it in place of the overhead power. I prefer it. It's a softer light than the other one. It doesn't blind you anywhere near as much. Let's bring this back in. You can see what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is push this screw through that hole at the back, and now I can see the hole. I've got half a chance of getting that to happen. I'm about 1 millimetre away. There I am. Well, I'm through. Look at that. Light makes all the difference, doesn't it? Right. Right, so we want it to stay exactly there in that spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push my nut onto the back with my finger. I'm going to try to get some purchase on the front with my screwdriver. If I could get the screwdriver to get there, which I now can, and give myself some tension. Righto, so we should be active. Now what's going on there? I've got way too much play in that. I'm going to have to find this other bloody piece of crap that I've lost and get that in. I found it. It's over here. It's on the wrong side of the job. I'm going to come in from the back now. Put you at the back so you can see from the back what's going on. Lots of light in there, so what I'm doing is I'm coming through from the back, where I've just put this nut on very loosely at the back. And see, all this wiring's in my road now. I've got a spanner fitting on that, and I'm going to give that some chutzpah. I'm going to just get some tension on that. Oh God, I hope that's activated. Just going to wind it up. Should hear it click. Okay, so it's dropped down a little bit. It's not what I wanted. And it's right on the screw at the bottom. So what I've got to do is loosen that off again. going to just push this screw a couple more turns. Just going to turn this a couple more turns. I'm going to bring it out. What I'm doing is I'm fiddling with the bottom screw, which I can tell you is nowhere near vertical. Using my screwdriver on it. Just going to put 2 or 3 more turns on this. This was a good idea until you got to adjust it in an area where you've got no room to manoeuvre. I'm just winding that out. Probably, what do you reckon, 5 turns? There we go, we've got 5 turns out. Let's have a go at that. I'll wind it back down one more time. Bring it back down. Yeah, we're touching there. Let's push this up. That'll do me for a... That'll do me. So when we get that level, that'll activate. That'll do me. Let's log it off there. Oh, let's not log it off yet. Let's get the other one in, because this one was the bugger. Because you can't see what you're doing. Just feeling around for where the hole is. So here we go. We're going to go in about there somewhere. Somewhere being the operative word. Oh, couldn't get that lucky, could I? I'm almost in it. Almost into it. Just had my fingers in the wrong place. I would have had it. Okay, so this has got the same problem as the other one had in terms of it not being entirely in a good spot. Haha, I love it when they go click. Love it when they go click. Right. Okay, so we're going to push this on. I don't know if you can see anything. You just see a bunch of wires, and I'm actually putting on the nut behind that cluster of wires that you're probably looking at to just mount this switch. I think 5 was the right number. I can hear that switch activating nicely. But it does have to be held upright so that it doesn't move. And it's got 3 points now of purchase. Instead of just the 2 points, it's now got 3. Now I don't think that's going to move. You know, I could be wrong. It might move, I don't know. But I'm trying it. I'll bring you guys in so you can see what I'm looking at. So where we are, there we are there. The switch is actually mounted. I'm going to try to get this so you can see. I can easily see what's going on. I don't know if you guys can. Righto, so those are the offending screws there. That one and that one. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing them through. Down here on the front, you can see, maybe, we've got 3 points of contact. So we've got that screw, and that screw at the bottom. So we've got 1, 2, 3 points. And that, I can't now push that. With the old one, I could push that very, very easily. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tension now on those nuts. with this tool here so that they can't move. So I'm just coming in with the screwdriver on the front, and I'm going to tighten that as far as I dare without it going pop. Righto, so I've tightened as far as I dare on the front, and then I've just given it 1/4 of a turn extra on the back. I'll do the same on the other one. Now I'll probably popping bloody wires off here, I don't know. That screw's going an awfully long way. Am I even on it? I'm not on it. Now I am. Right. I don't believe that switch will go anywhere. Now, let's have a look at the damage I've done on this. How many things have I got unplugged? I know that's my Z wire. And I know that my XY wire, my Y wire is off as well. Here it is here. That's the Y one. Now I need to know which is which. I'm going to plug them back in. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on. So that's the Y there. Oh, I'm going to have to go look at the wiring chart. I'm pretty sure this one goes in, it's XYZ. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm going to push it in that way, and I'll go check the chart in a second. So we should be just about done. There we go, that one's home. I'm going to double check that they're staying home. They are. And then here's my Z axis coming in. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to have a crack. I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to have a crack at it. I'm going to push this up. Click. I like click. Click is good. We're calibrated for level. Everything's level and nice. We're a long way up in the air. I've got everything leveled off. This thing is good. That thing is good. Everything's level. We're in a good place. Have to move you guys because you're sitting over the top of the spool. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to print a job. And I don't care that we're out of light and we're out of time, we're out of battery. I don't care. I want to see it work. Here we go. I'm hitting the switch. Oh, that's a good sign. It turns on. That's a very good sign. Right. I'm just going to push home all on the position. I heard both those switches click. Here we go with the Y. Perfect. Right. And I'm going to print. I'm going to have a crack at this test cone. Here we go. Now I don't know why it worked to where it went to. Went an awfully long way up in the air. I'm going to ask it to go home. It knows it's not at the home position, but I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. The printing job is still working. Everything still appears to be golden, so we're going hard. I'm going to get rid of this, I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of some tools, just while we're waiting for that to warm up. I'm going to run out of battery at some point, but I want to see it start to print something. If it'll print anything, I'll be a happy boy. I know I've got a result. And it's taken me the better part of a full week to get. Now this fan's not working, so there's something going on with the way that fan's not working. It should be working, it's not. This fan is. You can feel that going, no worries. So the hotbed's nearly there. Almost home and hosed. Now we go on the extruder. It's heating up. Put this into my little plastic recycler. Got all sorts of things to happen. I've been recording for almost half an hour to fit that switch with that. Now that arrangement's working because that's way better than what it was. It hasn't moved 1 inch. Well, not even a millimetre has that switch moved. So we potentially have a good solution here. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and say all sorts of things to jinx it, aren't I? Let's see what happens. You know, let's just see. Please print out. I'm just going to put my hand on that. It's quite warm. It's 50 degrees, so it has warmed up. Okay, we've got about 6 more degrees to go on the PLA. Here we go. Nothing's coming through the extruder yet. I'm going to see if I can just clear that piece of rubbish that's on there. It's not sticking to the hot bed. It's too high. I'm going to see if I can pause printing. It's not sticking to the hotbed at all. Right, so that's the problem. It's coming through. I'm going to cancel the job. Cancel the job. Going to wind this up. I I can hear that switch works beautifully. We've done the right thing there. The problem is that we've got no adhesion to the hotbed, and we should have. I'm going to scrape this all down, get this extruder as clean as a whistle. That PLA is still coming through it. So hopefully I'll get enough of it off there. We'll be able to go again. I'm going to start the job again now that I've got some crap through that extruder. Let's see if we can get it to print. I'm going to try to print a different one. See if we have any better luck. Now this is all working. All those switches are working correctly. A little spatula up here handy. I'm going to create a little magnet holder for that spatula. I'm going to keep it here on the printer. This was out of my Apple repair kit. That's what that came out of. It's a specialised Apple iPhone repair kit that I bought. It's been a handy little thing, that. Works very well. There's still a little bit of schmutz coming through that. I'm just going to get that clean. I need it to be clean. It's got to be a thing that I can get to clean that. I couldn't tell you what's going on at the moment, but it says printing 0%. Oh, where's my spatula? See if I can catch it on a corner and press it down. Of course, everything's in the road. It's not pressing down on Z. Can't do anything at the moment. I've got a big blob here. If I could get it to lock in, I'd be right. I'm bumping the camera, I'm bumping me. PLA is coming off of it like you wouldn't believe. But it's not sticking to the bed. The Z position is not calibrated correctly. Alright, that's the answer to it. I haven't calibrated Z correctly. I'm going to go again. Yeah, I can see what's going on. Righto. Can see what's going on. Z is not calibrated correctly. I'm going to push home all, and I'm going to push this hotbed up in the air a bit more. I'm going to let everything cool down. I want to get this out of here. Thank you. Just get out of it. Get it all out. Oh, big blob right there. Get back. I want to get all of that. Let's get all of it. Thank you. I have all of it. Here it goes. Right, I reckon I'm really close to a result here. I might take this fan off. I'm going to go up in the air. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Position. Right. What about if we block off part of this fan? And change it. I want to change it. That fan, I don't know why that fan is spinning as hard as it's spinning. It's blowing down onto the job cold air. But that isn't my problem. My problem is I'm going to recalibrate Z. I'm going to just wind it down into the plate so that it's touching exactly. I'm going to recalibrate Z. Here we go. So I'm going to bring the plate forward. Going to push the X across. And we're going to drop this down. Now we want to drop this down about 3 turns of the screw and push it down hard so that Z stays flush to the bizzo. Now I've got bits of PLA all over me. Got a lot of recycling to do here. Whole bunch of it. There's probably about, I don't know, well, I've used my 1.6 metres of it. The mark for the 1.6 metres is gone. It's all going back through the recycling. Righto, so what do we got? You're going to need to drop this down and calibrate that Z. Because it's not... I wonder what happens if I take the fan off it. I mean seriously, what happens if I take the fan off it? Righto, so we're going to release this again down here. Here we go. Once more with feeling, dear friends. Got to release the other side. Gee, that's tight. Right, so we've released it. I'm not going to take that side off. I think I'll take this side off. Swing it out. Okay. I just need to drop this a few turns. Just going to drop this side off. Alright, I've got it off. There's the washer. Pull that washer off. Take the nut out. Take the bolt out. Come out. Alright. It's out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this over so I can see it. I'm going to wind this in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. Now we're going to push that down hard. Give that some hoof spar just to hold it proud. Just going to give this some hoof spar. I'm just looking to hold that proud just until I see where that's going to go to. Because that nozzle should now nest itself well and truly down into the job. We're touching there. We're pushing down there. Both of those clicks, the nozzle is completely in contact with the bed. Happy, Jan? Let's put it all back together and see if that makes a difference. Once we get this, we don't ever fiddle with it again. It's done. Nearly out of battery. Been recording for almost an hour playing with this thing. I'm not changing the position of the bizzo. Hope to God I can get this bloody thing back through again. It's at its maximum setting. I might come through from the other side, I think. Try coming through from the other side. Right, so that's what's going on. I'll push this in. Right, we're through. We are done. Done. We are done. Now some of you are saying, why aren't you adjusting the hotbed? Well, the answer is I don't want it. I've got all of that primed and levelled. If I go messing with that, I've got to do recalibration, prime and level, all that. And I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in that place. Because I've got a lot of confidence in the way that's all lined up. So, we're going hard here. We want to get to a result. Oh, you mongrel, had it. I did have it. Now I got it. Shh. Recording, babe.
Oh, they put on free lunch.
Shh. Oh. Recording.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It's only going to be a minute.
Yeah, I want to watch my show.
Yeah, well, watch your show. Go ahead. Alright, we're done. I'm going to leave this till tomorrow. So, in editing this footage of bloopers, it turns out I've got 3 hours of footage, which is too long to post as a single video. So I'm going to break it into 4 parts. So, this is the end of this part, and I want you to like and subscribe to my channel, to my video, and support my company, nightglowmanufacturing.com. Make good decisions, do good things, and keep on swinging at it, and you'll get there. Righto, see you for the next part in a few minutes.